Atesh Dile, this is Sakina Bhatt and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama arrives in Sweden after 7 years and beings engagements. Central Tibetan Administration convenes International 550 Forum on Resilience. European Parliament's intergroup ranks China amongst worst violators of freedom of religion. Tibetan Buddhist master Professor Namkhe Norbu Rinpoche receives Italy's highest honor. Central Tibetan Administration donates 5 lakh towards Kerala flood relief work. On Tuesday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama arrived in Sweden. On Wednesday, His Holiness reiterated that Tibetans long to return to Tibet and are willing to remain within the People's Republic of China, given that China respects Tibetan distinct culture and autonomy. Speaking of Art of Happiness and Peace, organized by Individually Manis Kolyep, His Holiness said,
"We want to be broad-minded, not narrow-minded. So therefore, since 1974, we are not seeking independence. We are very much willing to remain within the People's Republic of China. They should respect Tibetan culture, Tibetan language, Tibetan environment, which actually Chinese constitution mentioned these things."
Sharing his opinion on refugee rehabilitation, His Holiness said, "Ultimately, refugees should focus on developing their own countries. Countries with the opportunities to receive and help their refugees must do so, but only to provide the immediate relief and resources and education for the youths in order to support them rebuild their country." The event was being held to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Swedish aid organization Individually Manis Kolyep, making His Holiness's first visit to Sweden since 2011. The Central Tibetan Administration has convened the 550 Forum towards a resilient Tibetan community in Dharamshala from September 13th to 16th. The 550 Forum on Resilience is a follow-on to the political gathering convened in October 2017 and the youth gathering in August 2018. It focuses on the development and the long-term resiliency objectives of the 550 vision. The forum will discuss on critical development and resiliency challenges and opportunities in the Tibetan community and explore innovative ideas and solutions. The European Parliament's intergroup on freedom of religion or belief and religious tolerance has categorized China under severe violations group. China is also ranked among the worst violators of freedom of religion or belief and religious tolerance in the world. The intergroup in its 4th annual report has analyzed 122 countries on quantitative basis, with 30 focal countries assessed both on quantitative and qualitative perspectives.
Unfortunately, China continues to have a bad human rights record. The authorities must stop their repressions against human rights defenders, activists, ethnic and religious minorities. I strongly believe that strict restrictions on Muslim and Christian religious practices and gatherings, complete banning of ethnic language and culture, in the case of Uyghur language and minority, do not correspond to China's ambitions for leadership in a democratic and liberal world order, and have been a real obstacle for our growing partnership. Thank you.
You say there's a confident China. I see an overbearing China. You say the Taiwan dialogue has been frozen. I see the efforts from the Chinese side to strangle Taiwan. You say China doesn't share all our principles. In reality, China rejects completely all of our sacred principles. You say we share the same approach and China is not fueling conflictual trends. I see China fueling so many conflictual trends. I don't know which China you're talking about. I think we should be speaking clearly, and it would be nice by starting to demand from China that they should start pursuing a one EU policy.
Chinese authorities repress the Tibetans from exercising their fundamental rights, and we don't know how many persons have been imprisoned for being dissidents over the past years. In terms of the actions in Xinjiang, 1 million Uyghurs have been detained, according to certain reports. So I think we need to send a very clear message to China.
We must not stand by watching idly the brutal deprivation of the Tibetan people of its rights. Partnership with China is indeed desirable, but it must be made conditional on the respect of human dignity as well as individual and collective human rights.
The intergroup in its report has raised specific concerns about the severe restrictions faced by the Tibetan Buddhists in the country, including outside the Tibet Autonomous Region. The Tibetan Buddhists are not free to venerate the Dalai Lama openly, to postulate in public, or meet in unregistered places of worship. The destruction of Larungkhar Buddhist Institute in 2016 was Beijing's desire to deprive the teachings and study of Tibetan Buddhism. The intergroup presented the report to the European Parliament and has recommended the European Union to use this dialogue with China to raise concerns about the deteriorating situation. One of the foremost Tibetan Buddhist master, Professor Namkhe Norbu Rinpoche, was honored with Italy's highest recognition, Commander of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic, on Monday this week. The President of the Republic of Italy, Sergio Mattarella, has conferred the honor on Professor Namkhe Norbu Rinpoche on the proposal of the Presidency of the Council of Ministers. The commendatoriate is a recognition for rewarding merits acquired towards the nations in the field of letters, the arts, the economy, and in the engagement of public offices and activities carried out for social, philanthropic, and humanitarian purposes. Extending solidarity and support to the people of Kerala, Kasha has announced a contribution of Rs 5 lakh towards Kerala Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund. Expressing his solidarity, President Dr. Lobsang Singye said, "As Kerala battles the worst flood in a century, Central Tibetan administration and the Tibetan people stand with the people of Kerala. In this time of crisis, we offer our deepest prayers and support towards the relief efforts." Flood-hit Kerala has suffered a death toll of over 400 people, with more than 1 million people sheltering in relief camps. So much for this week. See you next time and have a great weekend.